In this lesson, we are going to study about quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral can be classified according to the special properties of their sides and angles. So what is a quadrilateral? We learned that a quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. Now, based upon the special properties of sides and angles, a quadrilateral can be classified. Let's look at this. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. So if in a quadrilateral, if only one pair of sides are parallel, then that quadrilateral is called a trapezoid. So in a trapezoid, you have only one pair of parallel sides. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. So in a parallelogram, if opposite sides, look at this side and this side, they are parallel to each other, and this side and this side, which are opposite to each other, they are also parallel to each other. So this is a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. And observe the angles. Look at the angles of the parallelogram. This angle and this angle, which are opposite to each other, are they congruent? Yes. Look at this angle and this angle. They are congruent. So in a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent. Opposite sides are parallel. A rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides congruent. So in a rhombus, all the sides are congruent. Is rhombus a parallelogram? Yes, because look at the opposite sides. They are parallel. And look at the opposite angles. They are congruent. So a rhombus is a parallelogram where all the sides are equal. What is a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. So if in a parallelogram, if the 4 angles are right angles, 90 degrees, then the parallelogram is a rectangle. A square is a rectangle with all sides congruent. Now in a square, all the sides are congruent and all the angles are 90 degrees. Because all the sides are equal, can a square be called a rhombus? Yes. And because all the 4 angles are 90 degrees, can a square be a rectangle? Yes. So a square is a rectangle with all sides equal and all angles are right angles. Every quadrilateral can be divided into 2 triangles. This is one triangle and the second triangle. Now we had learnt already, in a triangle, what is the sum of all the angles in a triangle? It is 180 degrees. So in this triangle, the sum of all the angles will be 180 degrees. And in this triangle, the sum of all the angles will be 180 degrees. So what is the sum of all the angles in a quadrilateral? It's going to be 360 degrees. So the sum of all the angles in a quadrilateral will be equal to 360 degrees. Let's do this problem. The measures of three angles of a quadrilateral are 145, 90 and 56 degrees. Find the measure of the fourth angle. So let the measure of the fourth angle be x degrees. We don't know what it is. Now we have to find the value of x. What is the polygon? It's a quadrilateral. Now in a quadrilateral, the sum of all the four angles should be equal to 360. So 145 plus 90 plus 56 plus x should be equal to 360 degrees. And if we add up all these, how much is that going to be? 145 plus 90 plus 56. That is going to be 291 plus x equals 360 degrees. We need to find x. We have to remove 291. How will we remove 291? Minus 291 on both sides. So x is equal to 360 minus 290, which is 69 degrees. So x is 69 degrees. Let's do another. The measures of two angles of a parallelogram are 115 degrees and 65 degrees. Find the measures of the third and the fourth angles. So what is the figure we are talking about? Parallelogram. Something like this. In a parallelogram, are opposite sides parallel? Yes. In a parallelogram, are opposite angles equal? Yes. So if one angle is 115 degrees, what will be the opposite angle? 115 degrees. If the other angle is 65 degrees, what will be the angle opposite to 65 degrees? It will also be 65 degrees. So find the measures of the third and the fourth angle. It is 115 and 65 degrees. Classify each polygon in as many ways as possible. So first, does this polygon have four sides? So what is it called if it has four sides? It's called a quadrilateral. Are opposite sides of this quadrilateral parallel? Yes. So it is a parallelogram. So this polygon is a quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. Classify each polygon in as many ways as possible. How many sides does this polygon have? 4. So it is a quadrilateral. The opposite sides are not parallel. The opposite sides are not equal. So we settle down in classifying this polygon as only quadrilateral. Classify each polygon in as many ways as possible. Is this a quadrilateral? Yes, because it has four sides. So it's a quadrilateral. Are opposite sides parallel? Yes. So it's a parallelogram. Good. Are all sides equal? Look at that. Are all sides equal? Yes. So it's a rhombus. It's a rhombus. So this is a quadrilateral, it's a parallelogram, it's a rhombus. Classify each polygon in as many ways as possible. Does this polygon have one pair of parallel sides? Yes. So it is a trapezoid. And because it has four sides, it's also a quadrilateral. So this is a trapezoid and a quadrilateral. Let's do this. The measures of three angles of a quadrilateral are given. Find the measure of the fourth angle. So we know that in a quadrilateral, if we add up all the angles, it should be 360. So 80 plus 120 plus 60 plus x, the fourth angle, is equal to 360. Let us add up all the three angles, and that is going to be 260 plus x equals 360. We need to find x. How will we remove 260? Minus 260 on both sides. So x is equal to 360 minus 200 degrees. So x is 100 degrees. Find PR, this line PR, and the measure of angle P. How do you read M? We learned that this is read as measure of. Measure of. In the rectangle at the right, find PR. In a rectangle, are opposite sides equal, congruent? Yes. So if this is 6 centimeters, how much will PR be? It will also be 6 centimeters. So PR is equal to 6 centimeters. Because it's a rectangle, all the angles are going to be 90 degrees. So what is the measure of angle R? 90 degrees. The measure of one angle of a rhombus is 45 degrees. Find the measures of the other three angles. So what is a rhombus? A rhombus is a parallelogram where all the sides are equal and the opposite angles are congruent. So if one angle is 45 degrees, the opposite angle of 45 degrees will also be 45 degrees. Now, the angles on this side, if you add them up, it should be 180 degrees. So if this is 45 degrees, how much will this be? This angle will be 180 minus 45, which is 135 degrees. So this is going to be 135 degrees. So if this is 135, the opposite of that will also be 135 degrees. So the measure of the other three angles will be 45 degrees, 135 degrees, and 135 degrees. You can check the result by adding all the four angles, and that should be equal to 360 degrees.